the person who is with me now has touched well over millions of lives with his very inspirational video, and I know he was an inspiration in my life. I know quite a few of you will recognise this wonderful man, and it is a huge privilege to actually be with him and talking with him. So thank you very much for everything that you've inspired me, and you've inspired millions around the world.
Oh, thank you for your kind words.
Oh, no, thank you. How do you see things moving on now from when you first did that DVD and you've touched so many people? Where do you see things going?
Well, I'm moderately hopeful. The vegan ideal hasn't changed. A diet of plant-based foods is certainly health supporting, there's no question about that, and medical research over the past quarter century has certainly borne that out. Minimizing cruelty to animals has certainly always been a good idea, and more people understand the importance of that. But in these strange economic times, they may, in a remarkable way, actually benefit the vegan movement because as agricultural subsidies get cut around the world, certainly in the United States and Europe, the price of meat is going to be going up, and more meatless meals are going to be served, and the interest in veganism and vegetarian and vegan diets is certainly going to increase. And the vegan community has a great role to play in helping people understand this is not a bad thing. This is actually a good thing. We're going to get healthier, the planet will get healthier, and a diet without meat is a delicious diet. And there's really nothing to be afraid of, something we can all welcome. And I look forward to that.
Yeah, I think that's probably the message that you were giving in your talk. Was one not of there's terrible things coming, there's actually good things coming. And for a system that none of us really like this system, for it to fall, it can be a pretty frightening thing.
Absolutely.
But the reason why it's falling is amazing, because actually what's going to replace it is, as you say, is a much better world, a much better diet for people.
Well, as Peter said, we are witnessing the end of an era where systems for food production, communication, finance have gotten very, very large and overarching around the world, but they've also become very stiff and sclerotic, and as we have seen in many cases, very rotten at the base. And these systems are starting to collapse down, and it can be a very frightening and disconcerting process. But also out of this, the breakdown of these large systems is going to result in much greater local function, where we're going to get to know our neighbors better, we're going to be growing our food more locally, we're going to be relying on each other for social services on a much more local level. And
let this guy go fast.
Hey, we're trying to have an interview here. Just take that thing over there, runway 32.
He did, he heard you.
Thank you.
He's gone.
So as are the old systems that have become very stiff and interconnected, and when they start to fail in one place, the failure spreads through the entire system, we're going to see a lot of these things fragment, and we're going to find ourselves in much more local settings for our food. We're going to be getting to know our neighbors much better for social services, for our food supply, for communications. And this bodes well. We're going to be growing our food locally. We're going to see much more community gardens, backyard gardens, balconies with soil boxes putting out greens and tomatoes. So I'm hopeful that we're going to see a more vegan world in the very near future. And being vegan is more than just eating vegetables. It's interacting in ways where no one gets hurt. Vegan is about gentleness and about honesty and about benevolence. And the vegan community knows a lot about that, and so they have an opportunity to set the example for a society that's sane and stable and sustainable and more loving, actually, because that's really at the heart of the vegan ideal. So I'm hopeful for this world, and I'm looking forward to playing a very active role in that.
And we're very thankful for the active role that you have played in it, and that you will take on. This our age is missing the elders. Most of our elders are now in hospitals with Alzheimer's, and I know my mum at the moment is in hospital. I've lost my dad through that. So we have very few elders, and you are one of those gifts to humanity that are a very important elder that are to take us into this next step. So it's an honour to be with you, and it's an honour to be part of what's about to happen.
Well, thank you. Your energy, your spirituality, your talent, your devotion to clearly the higher part of humanity is really inspiring, and it's great to see you using your gifts to get this message out and to get your lovely products out and to help healing happen in your area as well. So it's an honor to work with you, and we'll work together to make a better world.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.